What's up, everybody? It's Little Matt from Ham House Sports. This is Big Matt.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, Matt?
So, hey, we're jumping back on the camera here, man, to talk a little bit about our latest adventure, right?
The sports card adventure.
Yeah, it's been interesting, man. So we have been, gosh, man, just
9 months.
Yeah. Well, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. Yeah, about 9 months.
9 months?
Hard to believe where things have come in 9 months. I really want, I don't know that I can stress this enough to people that, like, legitimately, this is a Nasir Adley
rated rookie orange scope.
Orange. Like, we were breaking open optic blaster boxes 9 months ago, hitting nothing. And, you know, we just picked up a Justin Fields flawless. And, you know, there's a lot of people in the hobby who say, well, it started with nothing. And that's not true. There's a lot of people who did. There's a lot of people who've been in the hobby since 2020, and they saw massive growth. We just stand by our word. And our word is that we started this process by selling about $5,000 worth of stuff in the garage.
We sold a bike.
In the closet.
We sold a bunch of shoes. It was like everything.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
And we just started kind of going. Now, we did end up having a lot of favor and a lot of blessing. Like, we really believe the Lord is in this. And
He is. The Lord is definitely in this.
We had a friend reach out. We're doing some consignment. We had some great opportunities for some cards that graded really well. So we've had a lot of good favor, and we're grateful for that. Yep. But I just want to encourage folks that it's possible when you truly learn the hobby and you pay attention and you minimize your mistakes. And that's why we do these videos.
Yep.
We're trying to help people understand what's made sense to us, what's made us successful, and then what we've learned from. So today we're going to do that again. And we're going to focus on football.
Chasing football.
And baseball prospecting. Okay?
All right.
So, go.
All right. So, chasing football. Football, normally you try to buy cards in the offseason because people think they're not hot, right? That's a lie. They're extremely hot right now because all the really smart, high-end, good collectors, they're all buying football right now. Like, if you go, they're chasing football. Like, look at Trevor Lawrence's prices. He beat Justin Herbert, made a 28-point comeback, and his prices are probably doing double since he did that. And he's not even playing right now. And who knows what he'll do next year. And Trevor is a good example of hype football.
So what you have is guys that are looking toward the season, and they're placing their bets on these players by buying their cards. And that supply and demand is what drives the market up when people get fear of missing out and they go after cards. But what you've got to deal with is comparable sales that are not legitimate. You have a lot of what's called shill bidding, which is people going and placing a bid on a card, and it looks like it sold at that price, but it didn't sell at that price. And so you have to be very, very thorough.
And you really never know. It might be one person has that same card and they're trying to sell it, but people think the last sale is this. So there's one on eBay listed really high, and they'll go buy it for that asking price and then not pay. So it looks like it's sold at that price.
So we've had to learn this and not get overextended. I will say that almost every mistake we've made in the hobby was made because we had fear of missing out or we got greedy.
Yeah.
If you get greedy or you have FOMO, you are going to lose.
100%.
But when you are patient, right, and when you're not greedy, you end up winning. And so chasing football, we did that a little bit lately, and we want to tell the story. So
like this card. So we saw this card in a Facebook group. It's a nasty card, Justin Fields flawless. Now, this was on a weekend, and the Dallas card show was that day, and all the high-end collectors, a lot of them, were in Dallas, and so they weren't paying attention to this Facebook group. So we messaged the guy, and I showed my dad the card. He's like, "That's sweet." And we came up, and I said, "Well, the last sale was $5,000." And he's like, "Okay, so what do you want to pay for it?" And we came up with a number, and we told the seller, "This is what we're thinking, kind of like a ballpark." And he said, could you do that cash? And now I've been looking for football for like 2 weeks and I could not find any. And so to find this card, it wasn't a bad price, was not a great price. But to find this card, I was kind of like, yes. So I texted back, yes. My dad was not on board with me. And after looking at comps, I found out that $5,000 comp was not paid for. And I didn't look at it closer, but the patch was way better, and I thought the auto was cleaner.
Yeah.
So
what would you say that you learned in that process?
I learned not to make any decisions without asking my dad, aka my business partner, who is a way better communicator than me and probably could have handled the situation a lot differently. Because then after looking at it, like, oh my gosh, we just overpaid for that card by a lot, and we don't want to do the deal. But we already said we were going to do that much cash. So we just said, hey, would you take trade plus cash?
So what's the word we use when we're talking about holding your word, honoring your word? Integrity, right? If you tell somebody you're going to do something, you do it. So we had said that we're going to do it.
Yes.
Okay. And so at that point, you want to keep a good reputation in the hobby. If you say you're going to do something, you do it. So we had said we're going to do it.
So we going back to him and we said, look, we can still do the 3,700. But
we would like to do a trade
plus cash if that's possible. And he said, that's fine. He liked one of our cards. We added less cash. And the good thing about that card that we added, we graded that card. So we bought it raw at a low cost. We graded it. So we had some room on that card. So we're into the fields for less.
Right. So at this point too, once we got this deal done, we started shopping this card and honestly just looking to move it for what we had in it. Not looking to.
The first person we showed it to, gave him a picture. They made us an offer. We're probably going to accept that.
Yeah. So it was a great lesson learned. And sometimes lessons come with a financial repercussion. In this case, it looks like we're going to be able to get out of the situation clean, what we have into it. But we learned a great deal about fear of missing out, getting greedy and chasing cards, and then also integrity. So huge learning lesson there. I think Matthew handled it really well. And again, as his dad, I think I could have freaked out and was like, what did you do? What did you do? And do you feel like I did that?
You did not do that.
Okay. I feel like I was pretty chill and pretty calm. Yeah. And one of the things is, we've been very fortunate because we have sold a lot of inventory. So a lot of what we're working with now is profit. It's stuff that we've made.
Capital.
Yes.
We learned that in school.
We have capital. So we're not using my income. We're not using savings to do anything. We're using money we've already made.
Like we said, we sold a bike, we sold shoes, we sold.
But even since we've graded and sold other cards.
And we sold my dad's old collection, and then we bought some cards, we graded them, and we made some money on them, and we just keeps going back. It's just been kind of
keeping up. So that being said, our goal in the hobby is to continue to grow our capital and our collection. We want to own some cards. We want to have some cash. We want to keep doing that. But also a big point for us in the hobby is to build community, to connect with other collectors.
And that's the best part of the hobby. Like Matt Levine at National Treasure, who's on here last week, so that was his favorite part of the hobby, just seeing the people and just meeting them. That's my favorite part of the hobby as well. Like, it's crazy who you get to meet. And where we're from, Wilmington, North Carolina, just the card community here is amazing.
Yep.
There's a new shop opening up next week, and there's already a shop here, and there's multiple people we've connected with. Heck, Matt Levine lives in our neighborhood, and he's like, before we even got in cards, we posted something in our Facebook group for our neighborhood, and he commented and said, I do cards.
Yeah.
And now he's one of our biggest helps in cards. And Jimbo, who moved here, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
The card community.
So again, if you can make the mistake of focusing too much on the money and you lose out on people. I don't think you can make a mistake of focusing too much on people. And so we're trying to find that healthy balance where, if you focus too much on people, people will take advantage of you and all this kind of stuff. And, you got to be aware of that because there's a lot of shady stuff going on. Yep. So you have to have a healthy balance of focusing on people, but also to the dollars and cents and just not being reckless with it. And I think we find a healthy balance. And so this week was a great lesson in integrity, fear of missing out, and valuing people, making new connections in the hobby. That said, part of our own goal is growing our personal collection. And we've got 3 really big cards in our personal collection right now
that
we're trying to decide what to sell. So, Matthew, I'm going to show these and we're going to talk about them, okay? The first one is a Ronald Acuna first Bowman refractor auto. Acuna is balling right now, MVP season in the works. This is his white jersey SSP. Picked these up this week. And then we got
so easy to deal with too.
Yep, Shohei Ohtani SSP. So these 3 cards are in our PC, and we're trying to decide: do you want to move one of them while these guys are really hot? Do you want to keep them?
Or do you want to keep them because right now those are the 2 front runners for MVP, and their teams, and the Braves are the favorites to win the World Series. But like my dad said, we don't want to hold cards because you never know. You could take a loss on it, or if he becomes MVP, you can make a profit on it.
So what are you feeling about these cards?
I would like to hold one of the Acuñas. I don't care which one. Preferably the white jersey, but that's the more expensive one. So, the refractor auto is fine to hold, but I think we could hold the refractor auto if we got.
How do you make the decision on which card you want to keep and which card you want to move?
I think that one's a higher value, which kind of leans me towards selling it. But, it's not an on-card first Bowman auto, which, if you look at it, his Topps SSP, such a cool card, such an amazing card. It's not his number 1 card to get. His first Bowman auto is the card to get, and I think we should keep that one.
So I think the second part of the video, we're talking about how do you decide what to keep and how do you decide what to go after for your PC. There's no magic answer. It boils down to me. Which card do you like more? Number 1. Yeah. Number 2.
Which card do you like more?
I like the white jersey more, right? But the white jersey, as far as the second thing, is which card has more value. White jersey has more value, and I think it has more upside because of the print number. You know what I mean? Like the pop count. Yeah. So I think that matters a ton. But like this Shohei dude, that's a tough card because what's the pop on that?
It's only a pop 40.
It's like a pop 40. And so those are all really tough. But again, what I would prefer to do is maybe even consider like trading this and getting into like Steph Curry rookie again. You know what I mean? Or selling this and buying a Steph Curry rookie.
The problem is we've had one of my favorite cards ever. This is Steph Curry Topps rookie. I want that card in BGS 9.5.
We've owned it in an 8. We've owned it in a 9.
And the next step's a 9.5. Hopefully, next up from there is a 10, and then a black label. You already know. In the super fractor too. Yeah. But I'm kidding. But a 9.5, a card that we really want. We have an opportunity on it right now from a person that we bought from before. Super nice person, easy to deal with. But we're debating is that a card that we sell? Or is that a card we stick on our wall forever beside my signed jersey and just say, man, that's super cool?
Once you make a decision to lock up a card in the PC, then you know that money, that capital is now coming out of the operational account. So these things matter, whether you're dealing with $10 cards, $100 cards, $1,000 cards. But I know that we've kind of come to the conclusion we don't really like owning super high-end cards. We like to deal in cards that are kind of mid-end. And so, but if you can climb your way into those mid-end cards and essentially pay for them by your other collection.
Speaking of paying for a card, we bought 4 Jackson Holiday autos. Jackson Holiday is one of the hottest guys right now.
This is his Ray Wave auto.
And that's an SSP to 50. It's not numbered to 50, but it's numbered to 50.
So this card was part of a 4-card lot that we purchased. And by buying all 4 of them, we sold the other 3 to make this card basically paid for. So this card is free to us because what we've sold the other cards for basically pays for it. And then we went out and bought a Jackson Holiday rookie auto numbered to 10. So we've got his card in the 10. We've also got this card raw. And that brings us into the final point of today's today's lesson in cards is prospecting. Prospecting is when you are looking for the next
Acuna, Soto, Tatis.
Right. And so we follow a lot of minor league baseball statistics, a lot of the guys that were drafted. And right now we are pretty well set in having a good handle on upcoming prospects. So this is Dalton Rushing for the Dodgers, one of the best hitters in minor league baseball right now. Has great upside, and we own 2 of his autos and a 10.
And hopefully 5, because we have 3 at PSA.
We've got 3 at PSA. This is Andrew Painter, one of the top pitching prospects. That's his blue refractor, PSA 10. So we are holding on to Painter, expecting him to come back from injury and do really well. This is Chase Meadroth. This is his gold refractor, numbered to 50. He's, again, a AA with the Boston Red Sox. And then we have 2 of the top 10 prospects in baseball. One is James Wood, and the other is Jackson Chourio. And a lot of guys might say, well, I've never heard of these guys before, and that's the point. These guys are scouted by everybody everywhere. There's all kinds of information out there. And I love the idea of finding a guy you like. And,
no, dude, and like, especially, we've never had this happen, but I've heard from some like good people in the hobby that when you have a lot into a prospect and he gets called up, it's like one of the best feelings in the world.
it becomes personal.
Yeah, because like I've chased this guy and I knew he was going to be the guy for 2 years, and finally he's getting the respect he deserves.
So again, with prospecting, it's also pretty competitive. So you've got to be patient and you've got to wait for the right opportunity, because you can overpay for a prospect, and if they stop playing well, they can tank.
There's a prospect I can think of right now.
Who's that?
Gunnar
Henderson. Gunnar Henderson was the number 1 overall prospect. He's really been struggling, with the Orioles this year after he got called up. So the idea with prospecting is to not get too overextended. That's my understanding. So if you have a collection, my encouragement would be have some solid studs. This is our Shohei Acuna guys. Have some lock prospects like Jackson Holiday, like Chourio and James Wood. They're all top 10ers. And then you can take some risks on some guys like Chase Meadroth or Dalton Rushing or whoever your favorite guy is. And then don't chase high-end football cards and overextend yourself, fear of missing out. So what else anything else you want to add, Matthew? I feel like this has been pretty comprehensive, pretty good.
It's been pretty good. Nothing I want to add, but the first question I always ask people when I go to people is, what's your PC card, right? And the reason I like that is I kind of like to get a feel of like who people like and who they collect. All right, so if you're in the comments, everybody put down who your favorite player is, what teams you collect, if you have a set you collect, like what is your favorite card? That's just one thing I want to see, because we ask everybody who comes on the show, we ask everybody we meet at shows, but that's the thing I want to see in the comments. Everybody in the comments, drop what your favorite team, your favorite set, your favorite player, your grail card.
So what's yours?
Don't put me on the spot.
Yes, what's yours?
I have a few. And they're like,
no, a card.
If I could have one card, if they were all the same price, that would.
Yes, one PC card right now.
52 man. I'm kidding. I'm not going to choose it just because it's expensive. I'm going to choose a card because I sincerely
Which one do you
love the
with?
Card. There's 2, and I'm going to say it. 1986 Fleer Michael Jordan. It's the coolest card ever. Okay. And it's like, you didn't know this kid was going to be a stud because it's rookie year. And you didn't know his tongue out was going to be his signature thing. And you got that on the card.
So what's your second?
Steph Curry Topps Chrome Refractor.
Do we own either one of those?
No.
Okay.
So we're going to go get
Why not?
Because they're really high value cards. And I think if we make some profit on stuff, like I told you, we should make another account. We should put the profits into this account. And maybe by the year end, we can get one of those. So just keep it on the shelf.
I think we need to do that. I think we need to.
What's yours? I'm putting you on the spot now. If it's not a Mantle.
It is a Mantle.
Okay. I knew it was. Have we owned this card?
Yes. I think it's a 53 Mantle.
What grade?
I'd like to own a 4. But anyway, I think this is where we constantly have this dialogue of owning cards you really like.
Sold that Mantle.
Of owning cards you really love versus, kind of staying liquid, keeping inventory and all this kind of stuff. So we're learning as we go, guys. We just want to include you guys in the process. We appreciate everybody who watches. If you have some cards, you want to know what they're worth, give us a call. Yep. If you're looking to get rid of some cards that you have and we can help, give us a call. If you're looking to pick up specific players, we've got a ton of cards. We'd love to help. Really just appreciate you guys watching and kind of joining us as we go along this journey. So right now it sounds like we got to figure out a way to get a Jordan. We got to figure out a way to get a Steph.
And we can get those.
And we got to figure out a way to get a 53 Mantle.
I think we can get those. I think if we make some money for National, we can get those cards.
Okay.
But I want the Steph in a 9.5, or I want the Steph in like a refractor, like an 8. You know?
Okay. Well, we're going to figure it out. Well, guys, stay tuned in the next video. Make sure you watch our shorts and reels for all the updates and tips that we have. And peace. Y'all be well.
Peace. Go Pack.